Hey, we are live. This is Hey Hey Chicago Sports. It's 3 o'clock p.m. by the time we are recording this. It is August 18th. The Illinois State Fair is going on, so everyone out there have fun. It's
you were there last night, weren't you?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Why? I had a fun time.
Okay, I was just saying you were there.
Well, yeah, it's you just the way you phrase that. Okay, but anyway, back to.
We're back, and we got a few things. Now we're up. It's been a week. Again, traffic for us. Thanks for everybody who kind of looked into our show, and we're going to send it all out to you guys again, and hopefully we can keep moving the traction along. And again, if you like us, make some comments. We got some things we're going to talk about today. We're going to bounce around a little bit. But the first thing I want to get off my chest is...
Oh, wait. Okay. I gotta get your drinks for this, people. I don't know what this is.
I went to the Sox game last Thursday. I was like, what the hell, So I got up early in the morning. I took Amtrak to Joliet, take the Metro, and you get off at 35th Street, and everything was fine and dandy.
It took you 6 hours to get there and back.
Coming home was a 6 hour. I don't even want to discuss it. Coming home was a 6-hour train ride. You could fly.
I'm very happy I wasn't there for that.
You could fly from L.A. to Hawaii in 6 hours. Okay, and you could fly round trip to Vegas in 6 hours. But that's neither here nor there about what we're talking about. But the one thing I want to talk about was the Sox are literally winning the division. And, I got there, and there were so many empty seats. It was a day game, okay?
It's a White Sox game. What do you expect?
But anyway, I had great seats, and I want to thank the Chicago White Sox for allowing me to see, when people tell me that you need a device to get in to buy a ticket, that's a bunch of crap, because White Sox Park, if you got a debit card, you walk up there and you say, I would like to get a ticket, and they will get you a ticket, and they will get you a hard copy ticket, and you don't need a device. But anyway.
Okay, what's your point?
So anyway, watching a ball game, and I got great seats. I'm in the upper deck, third row. Okay, and we've been to Sox Park
many times.
And we've had sections by ourselves. Where nobody else was there.
And you know what? I will say that's the most fun, because you could do
whatever you want.
Well, you could say you
So I'm sitting in the third row, and I'm on one end, and there's another guy in my row on the other end, and nobody in between us.
Okay.
Okay. In the second row, there's nobody. Let me repeat that.
You're in the upper deck?
Upper deck. I'm in the third row. There's one guy. I'm here. The other guy here.
What section were you in? Do you remember?
Oh, right behind home plate. Section 529.
Okay.
Literally, right behind home plate. But we were in the upper deck.
Those are good seats.
Okay. And then the front row. Okay? The front row. 2 rows down from me is this elderly couple, and they're having a great time. Okay? Then there's an empty seat. Then you got these 2 young college kids. And then you have this other elderly couple. So basically, in row 1, you got 1 seat that's open.
Okay.
In the middle.
Okay.
Next to these elderly people.
Okay.
And again, row 2, what did I say? Nobody there.
Not a single soul.
Not a single person in row 2.
Okay.
And in row 3 where I'm at, me and another guy. So the 4th inning comes.
Did he sit right in front of you?
In the 4th inning, this guy shows up, and he wants that lone seat in row 1.
So he sits right in front of you?
No, it doesn't bother me. But he gets up and he's wiggling his way into that one. He could have took row 2 and had any goddamn seat. Any seat he wanted in row 2. He could have sat in between me and the other guy in row 3. But he fought to get next to these old people And you know what? The tool, he sat down and I watched him. He puts these glasses on and he's texting somebody. He's like, he ain't watching a damn game. He lasts 2 innings. Then he gets up and gets the hell out of there. He makes all of this, he made these people stand up and sit down so he can meander to get to that one seat. He could have went to row 2 and had any seat whatsoever. And I made this observation. I'm like, what an ass. What a tool. Because if we've gone to sections, we would look and go, there's nobody sitting there. We're just going to sit there. Oh, I didn't know if
Well, it's fun to sit in until someone shows up there.
But I didn't know if that was like really his seat and he really wanted it. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, buddy, you're making all these people move around, these elderly people move around for you to sit. You could have just went in a row 2 and had any damn seat you wanted. You could have been in row 4 behind us. There was nobody there. And I'm looking at this Yahoo, and I'm going, what the hell is he doing?
Okay.
But that was an observation I made at Sox Park, and I'm like, people, what I'm kind of saying is, if there's an entire row, 1 row up, and you really want to fight to get your seat, you're doing people a disservice at a ballpark. You must be a rookie. You must be a rookie at a ballpark. Don't do this. So that was my observation. And the Sox, it was a great game. 9-8. Sox lost to the Reds, and it was 9-8. But I watched this asshole, and but I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's gonna sit there. He lasted 2 innings.
Okay.
Then he left.
Okay. Next topic. We have to move on.
All right. Gonna go real quick with Pete Crow Armstrong. Okay, I did not. Pete Crow Armstrong. Okay, I'm gonna just for the record. Pete Crow Armstrong last night went berserk against the White Sox, and I have not done his math. Okay, but his batting average is going to go up. But I just want to throw a couple of things at you. Up until yesterday, from the All-Star break until yesterday, Pete Crow Armstrong was batting .212. Okay, let me repeat that. .212. He was 27 for 127 since the All-Star break until before yesterday's game. So I haven't done yesterday's game. He did hit 2 home runs. He hit, I guess now they're making a big deal of this. Pete Crow Armstrong is only one of 5 guys in the history of Major League Baseball who led off the game with a home run and ended the game with a walk-off with a home run. And they're making a big deal of it.
That's a substantial stat.
Correct.
That's a circumstantial stat.
Correct.
Oh, he's the first time.
Okay.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Now,
I don't want to hear that crap.
Now,
I don't want to hear that.
And we're going to be real quick on Pete Crow Armstrong here because, ladies and gentlemen, we've had discussions here about the MVP. Okay. Now, does the MVP mean you're the best baseball player or you're the most valuable player on your team?
Well, it should be both.
Because there is kind of to me, the most valuable player means if you were not on that team, the team would be in dire straits without you.
Okay, this is my outlook of it. When I hear the word the MVP, most valuable player, there's only one. Well, baseball there's 2 because they split it.
One in the American, one in the National.
But anyway, there's only one in that. There's only one in those leagues. Well, they should just be named conferences. But anyway, I don't see how Pete Crow Armstrong is a better baseball player right now than Kyle Schwarber. I don't see how he's a better baseball player right now than Shohei Ohtani. I don't know how he's a better baseball player right now in the National League than...
I look at it as most valuable. I'm not too sure he's the most valuable player on his team. Matthew Boyd, after coming back, as I told you the other day, Matthew Boyd coming back off the injury is 8-2.
That's a strong argument.
And people have been bitching and moaning about how bad the Cubs' pitching has been.
Well,
Matthew Boyd's 8-2.
Me included.
8-2. Okay? We're going to find out now how valuable Dansby Swanson is because he's out anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks at shortstop when shortstop is the most important position defensively on your team.
Well, in the entire infield, too.
He gets the most chances. So we're going to find out how that's going to work out, okay? And Swanson has got almost 70 RBIs from the 9-hole. Okay. Suzuki has just as many RBIs as Pete Crow Armstrong. We're talking about most valuable, and I asked you this question the other day. If Pete Crow Armstrong did not exist with the Chicago Cubs, and you had Matt Shaw playing center field,
I don't think there'd be much difference.
how much difference would the Cubs be?
Well, Matt Shaw got hurt.
Right. Okay. Then let's put. Okay, if you had Alcantara playing center field, now he's terrible.
Nah.
And you had Happ in left. Okay, let's put it this way: you had Conforto. What if you put?
There you go.
Happ and
That's a better argument.
you would be able to put Suzuki in center, Conforto in right.
There'd be no difference.
Happ in left.
There would be no difference.
Would you be any worse off than you are now?
I don't think there would be any difference.
Okay, let me ask you this question: If Kyle Schwarber was not in the Philadelphia Phillies,
And he was still a Chicago Cub?
if he's just anywhere, how are the Phillies in the pennant race? Are they hurt more?
They would be hurt more.
Okay, if Matt Olson, and we check Matt Olson's statistics. Okay, the one it's crazy. Check that Abrams character in Washington. I watched that Washington series. He's got over 90 RBIs right now. He leads in the National League in RBIs. If this guy didn't exist in Washington, how good would the Nationals be?
Terrible. Probably bad.
And you know who's the last shortstop to lead the National League in RBIs?
It's Ernie Banks, apparently. If you
Ernie Banks. In 1960, no shortstop has led in RBIs. Okay. And if Ohtani was pitching regularly, it wouldn't even be. So.
Well, it's the NBA thing. They got tired of voting for him. They'll vote for somebody else.
But now they created, and we'll get to this real quick. If they're gonna make Pete Crow Armstrong win the MVP because of 3 letters in the alphabet,
Because I'm not
WAR.
convinced. Look. Let me say this. And I've traveled all over the world to watch baseball and participate in baseball and what have you. A WAR is not a real statistic.
It's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
But if we're going to come to the point where, in the future, and if Pete Crow Armstrong wins the MVP because he's got a higher WAR than all these other people, then you have now set a tone for next year to say whoever's got the highest damn WAR is the most valuable player.
Because Babe Ruth has the highest WAR of all time. Well, actually, real quick, because one, Pete Crow Armstrong made the comment about Babe Ruth, how good it was he ever, but Babe Ruth has the highest WAR apparently. But the reality of that is, how are you going to give Babe Ruth a statistic that, for one, he never had when he played, and two, no one alive today ever saw him play?
Yeah.
So how are you going to give him that?
And again, we have to preface by saying we're Cub fans. We're staunch Cub fans, but it's easy to dislike Pete Crow Armstrong.
Well, yeah, because he's a douchebag.
Yeah. So, again, you ask yourself the question: most valuable player. We gave you examples. Take a guy off of your team. Okay, the Cubs are 20 games over 500. If they lost Pete Crow Armstrong,
there'd be no difference. If you're hitting 212 after the All-Star break, there'd be no difference.
Maybe the Cubs are down to 16 games over 500, but they're still but
they're not a first-place team.
The other teams we talked about,
I do know.
Philadelphia might not be in a wild card race. Washington certainly would not be in a wild card race without Abrams. Olson, Atlanta's playing real good. And again, is Pete Crow Armstrong the most valuable player on the Cubs?
No.
So if he's not the most valuable player on his team,
he's not even the best defensive outfielder on the team. That's Ian Happ.
Yes.
Ian Happ's the best outfielder on the team.
So you guys could argue about that. But and I will update after Pete Crow Armstrong today because the Cubs play the Sox. Gosman is pitching.
And he's, Jesus.
And I don't know what the Cubs are doing, because now with Swanson gone, we'll touch upon this real quick. Owen Miller came up.
I've heard of the name.
Okay, but you asked a great question right before we got on. Where in the hell is Waldo? Where's
Matt Shaw?
Where's Matt Shaw?
Now, supposedly, now wait, let me, because we can go in this a couple different ways. Supposedly, Matt Shaw's had a severe wrist injury, which, okay, I've never broken my bones or anything like that, but okay, yeah, that sounds very painful. That could be very tough and difficult to come back.
But did he break the wrist? Did he straight? We don't know.
You don't know, because they never reported on it. They never touched base on it. They never did that at all. And he's been gone most of the season.
Because if he broke...
And we only have 6 weeks left of the year now, almost entering the playoffs, and no Matt Shaw.
If Matt Shaw broke what was called...
No news about Matt Shaw.
Okay, I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but I do know a little bit about... I believe it's called the highmate bone or haymate bone. It's in your wrist. It's the second longest healing bone in your body. Might even be the first longest healing bone in your body. If he literally broke that wrist, then there could be a tangible reason and an update to say Matt Shaw broke the haymate bone or highmate bone, and it's going to be out. But if he's just got tendonitis, if it twisted, but he's been out.
Because here's the thing.
Forever.
Here's my thing.
And now Swanson's done, and you know what? Now it's the miracle cure. He's going to be healthy in the next couple days, but go ahead.
I don't trust it. I don't trust this team. This is the first Chicago Cub team that I have inherently, I think I'm not even using that word correctly, but this is the first Cub team that I simply don't like. I don't like them. I don't. And I know I'm saying that as a Cubs fan. Everyone's like, how could you say that? Well, you screwed around with your pitching staff 30 to 40 different times. You got P.Q. Armstrong being a complete word I cannot say here on this platform. Swanson. Let's be real. Swanson, you took yourself out of the game. Let's be real. You called it the loser limp. Don't back off on it now.
Well, no.
And now it's all, he had this left side.
Okay. I don't know I have no idea what an oblique injury is, but people are getting these things all the time. I'll tell you something. I'm going to use this as an example. This morning, Senior Citizen Baseball League, we had about 30 guys out there, 35 guys out there, swinging bats. You got to be of a certain age to be in this league.
And they're all senior citizens.
And
I know, I've seen
they were all swinging bats and throwing balls, and we all came off the field and...
With no problem.
No problem.
With no problem.
No problem. And now, all of a sudden, I think this is like the fourth oblique injury that the Cubs have suffered.
A professional athlete...
Training
in the physical prime of his life.
You got professional conditioning people and physical therapists and everything. You swing a bat, and all of a sudden you're out for 6 weeks. Now, okay, if that's the case, you're out. But now all of a sudden, again, back to the offseason, you needed position players. And you went out and you
got Alex Bregman.
$37.5 million for Bregman, and then you sit there and go, you know what? We socked all our money into that.
But Bregman's best seasons was when he was cheating.
Right.
And you know that.
Now
follows into what I don't really like this team right now.
Okay, now Cabrera got roughed up.
And he sucks.
He got roughed up the other day, and now
he sucks.
And now he has another blister on his finger, and now he's on a DL.
You traded away Owen Casey. To get this guy, because you didn't have a third starter.
Okay. You got Peterson at the trade deadline, and now you're putting Peterson. You needed a starting pitcher. Peterson now is in the bullpen. You dumped Assad a week ago, and now you brought him back up. Okay.
You know what? You got to put him in the main starting rotation.
Javier Assad's got to be one of your 5 or 6. If you got a 5-man rotation, he's got to be one of 5.
You have to.
And then they made an announcement yesterday that Brett Brown might be coming back soon. But so, and if he comes back, then you got to dump somebody else. But again, and we got to do another show about this. The 6 or 7 free agent pitchers that were available at the beginning of the year.
Well, you can't get all of them.
You can't get all of them, but you've spent $37.5 million for Bregman, where you could have split the difference and got some of these other guys. You might have got two of these guys.
Okay, I know I'm rewinding the tapes here, but as you said, there was no change. So when they swapped players, as you said, they had Cody Bellinger, they gave him away. Mm-hmm. Bring in Kyle Tucker for 1 year, give him away. And now they have the 30 Bregman. And how old is he? 33?
Yeah.
Something such as that? Okay. Out of that 3 I just named you, who was a more impact player?
Your guy Bellinger.
Because I don't think Bellinger. Not Bellinger. I don't think Bregman is even one on that list.
No, but the Cubs are sitting back in 6 ahead, and we're going to switch to the Bears here. But before we turn back the clock, the Cubs are 20 games over 500, and they're 6 games in solid in the wild card game. And everybody goes, yay! But I got a list of teams. First of all, they got to play the Brewers 7 times. They got to play the Braves.
Okay.
They got to play the Mariners.
Yep.
They got to play the Red Sox.
Yep.
They got to play Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They got to play the Marlins, and they still got to play 2 games with the White Sox. And I think they got a couple weak sisters in there. They got another series with the Reds and somebody else. But anyway, the teams I mentioned.
Did you mention the Pirates yet?
I think they got to play Pirates. But the teams that I just mentioned are teams that have to win to still battle for playoff spots.
Yeah.
And if the Cubs slip with some of these people,
they're screwed.
We're going to be, because last year at this time when it was September 1, when the Cubs only had like a 4-game lead over, we were sweating it out right here in the man cave again. And those people who are watching us, now the Cubs are 6. You know what? There's still 2.5 weeks left in the month of August. They got lucky last night with the White Sox. Okay? And we'll see what happens. But tonight, Gausman against the White Sox.
Have fun with that.
All right.
Well, let me one last thing with the Cubs.
All right, wrap this up, with the Cubs.
I'm sorry.
Go right ahead.
None of this matters if you don't win the World Series. You come this far, if you don't play in the World Series and win it, this doesn't matter. Okay, continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we took that off the board. Okay. We're gonna get into some Bears stuff. Okay. Not the schedule or anything.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest.
Are we going to spend more time on the press conference or the Cleveland game?
Well, you mentioned the press conference first, so start with that.
You want to start with that?
Yeah, because what is there to be talked about? It's only a press conference.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about.
Well,
I think.
Okay.
The way it was.
Okay. Okay. So the Cleveland Browns played the Bears.
Yeah, let's talk about the game.
And it was a Week 1 preseason game, and it was because you touched base on the first 2 opening drives. The Bears punted. I think they.
Yeah, they punted.
Even though it was a preseason game.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Browns played like complete terrible. They played like garbage. They scored only 10 points. Almost all of their players played. Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears will not play in the preseason games, apparently, because I guess they're going to have him in different practices and whatever, which is fine. I don't really care about that. But all of the Chicago Bears quarterbacks played good. Case Keenum played good. Bajent right now has got a hamstring injury. Have fun with that. This Morrison Miller character, I just looked him up. He's from Louisville, and he was an undrafted guy. So he's the new Bajent. He played decent. All the quarterbacks looked good. All the offensive guys looked good. I think the same guy. What was his name? He got 2 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, one of those. But is he going to be around?
I don't know.
But you know who he picked off?
Well, Shedeur Sanders.
He blew.
And also Dylan Gabriel.
Those 2 guys. Okay.
They all suck.
Do I need?
They all suck.
compared to Watson,
Oh, he played terrible too.
but compared to the other two, Watson was head and shoulders above those other two jokers.
Not by much.
Okay. And, well, Shadur's going to get the start this week. But here's a thing I thought about. If the Bears were struggling with the pass rush, did you see who got picked up by Dallas?
No, I did not.
The guy had 9.5 sacks last year.
I don't follow the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it was the ESPN.
So
Von Miller.
he's
If he was still around...
well, he's got mileage on him.
Okay, exactly. But if he was still around, and the Bears need... The guy had 9.5 sacks last year.
I can't believe he's still playing.
9.5 sacks. Okay. The Bears only had like 26 or 28 the whole year. Von Miller had 9 on his own. And if he was around and was just waiting for a paycheck, and the Bears... Because the Bears need bodies.
That's the thing. Does he want a paycheck or does he want to play?
But as we said before in our last show about guys that are hurt and whatever, we talked about that before. You know, who the Bears need and, you know, who they're missing for the defense and stuff like that. But and when we get to the schedule, and we've argued about this, and I'm still going to back up, there are only 4 locks on the schedule.
Okay, well, schedule has to be an entire different...
There'll be a whole show down the round.
Different episode.
But the Bears play Cincinnati this week.
Do you want to go to that? That's in Cincinnati.
Okay. We'll see. Now is Joe Burrow going to play against this depleted defense? These defensive backs? Is Jamar Chase going to play? Is T. Martin going to play? Are all the studs going to play? I don't know. Against the Bears defense, I don't know.
I don't think they will.
So
I think they'll treat them the same way how the Chicago.
So, and to watch a preseason game, I have no idea. But the Bears, and then the wacky that wacky comment that Williams said, we want to be the highest. It's nice to say that.
Okay, I don't know why. How dare your quarterback have a high standard that he's putting himself at? How dare he?
They want to score 37 or 35.5 points a game.
Well, they came relatively close to that. So.
Okay. So, but the Bears, it'll be Saturday. High school football starts also Saturday as well. So. But the Bears are. We mentioned about the Bears in the preseason.
They only have 2 preseason games.
2 more preseason games. 3 total, and then they have a week off.
Okay.
And then they have. So the summer is a 5-week deal. 3 off a week.
They play the Bengals, and then who else do they play?
Good question. I should know this.
Who's the final preseason game?
I don't know.
I think it's an AFC team.
I think it is an AFC team. Then they have the week off. And then they play. Then it's the first game of the season.
Okay. Well, anyway, here's his press conference. You keep wanting to talk about.
I want to get into this Bears press conference with McCaskey and Warren, specifically Warren. Okay. No, because McCaskey, I don't want to say a whole lot about McCaskey because that riles you up.
Well, yeah, because I think he's a clown. I think he's an idiot. I think he is a failure. I think he is a complete stooge.
And I'm going to go to him first because go right ahead. The press conference was a half an hour press conference. Each of these buffoons had 15 minutes to talk. Okay. Well, Kevin Warren talked for 15 minutes. McCaskey talked for 15 minutes, and then the press had an opportunity to ask all questions to each of them individually.
So altogether, 30 minutes.
It was a 30-minute press conference.
Okay. Well, what is there to talk about for a 30-minute press conference?
Okay. Well, so Kevin Warren gets. Well, I'll go to McCaskey first. McCaskey was the second one, and McCaskey first of all said.
Okay.
After he said. I want to make everything clear that we did not hire Kevin Warren for Kevin Warren's number one thing to do is to get us a new stadium. Kevin Warren is so integral.
Oh, this press conference, I've heard of this before.
Of what took place, and he's so important to the organization. And he kind of said all of that, and then all of a sudden the questions came, and to McCaskey, and it was like, and obviously the obvious questions were the stadium. And they said, what's going on with the stadium, George? Blah, 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 blah. And George said, we are now, it was like a line in the sand.
Okay. We
are now focusing all our efforts to Hammond, Indiana.
I have a comment to say about that, but continue.
And across the street from where we were,
okay,
when you saw us on Hammond, we were at the Wolf Lake terminal site. Across the street is called the Lost Marsh area, which has the golf course and 330 acres of marsh that, according to these two jokers, everything, the check marks and the boxes have been cleared. They could start hitting shovels tomorrow and start building and going across the street and having this lavish palace in Hammond, Indiana.
Is that all that's to be said?
And that's what George said. We are now, because then, I'll let you talk, because then I'm going to hit you with the Kevin Warren stuff.
Whoa.
Or should I go with the Kevin Warren stuff?
You're already on the ball, so go.
Okay.
Kevin Warren, go.
So Kevin Warren spoke first. And Kevin Warren said a lot of stupid shit. Okay? Because they asked Kevin Warren, you were hired so many years ago, Kevin, and
from the Big Ten, supposedly.
And you built this Minnesota. You built the new park in Minnesota, and the Bears have had this land now going on. It's almost 5 years. Arlington Heights.
It's almost 6 years now.
And not a damn thing has been done in Arlington Heights.
A failure.
So they asked Kevin Warren, and he goes, well, and his answer was, this is, whatever we do is going to impact Chicago and Hammond, or wherever we go for the next 30 or 40 years. So we have to take our time before we make that major decision on what's going. And there have been other wonderful things that have happened to the Chicago Bears since then. So, and then he goes, we have now got 10 corporate sponsors. And he rattled them off like Granger and these people. And they're paying like $1 million a pop to be corporate sponsors. And he goes, and the Chicago Bears have retained, even through all this turmoil, the Chicago Bears have retained 99% of their season ticket holders. And the Chicago Bears financially are in the greatest history. This is the greatest time financially in the Chicago Bears history. So then somebody raised their hand and said, well, if that's the case, you got all this goddamn money, why ain't you starting to use it and start getting the ball rolling?
See, that's the Chicago Bears.
And then
this is why
And then McCaskey jumps in and goes, well, that would be considered debt, because we know how much we want to pay and use. Anything over that is becoming debt. So basically, and then they're saying that when we build this new thing, that this isn't, remember people, and he was telling the reporters, remember, this isn't strictly for football. These are for all these other events that are going to take place.
Okay.
Under the roof.
Yeah.
In Hammond, Indiana.
Okay, are you finished now?
For the moment. Don't yell.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you finally now finished with your point?
Okay, but I'll get back to some things later. But don't yell.
Okay.
I give you the floor.
This is why I crucify. This is why. You know what? I used to call in the 670 the score. years and years ago. And I used to tell people that the McCaskey family are the reasons why the Bears never win shit. And people used to hang up on me. People used to lie and play pretend and lie to me and say that that was never the case. I used to tell them that Ted Phillips and Virginia and George and all those dumbasses are the reasons why the Bears don't win. And you know what? Now, finally, the henchmen have had enough. Now, the barbarians are at the gates. Thank God. Here's my thing with this, let me say this. You spent all that money. I was at work the day they got the money and where they got all the crap for Arlington Heights. They had all the money, they put it down for Arlington Heights, said, we want this.
$240 million,
it was billions.
Well, no, it was 200.
I don't know how much it was, but it was a lot. It was a lot more than what you think it was.
The land was almost $300 million for the land.
Okay, but anyway, they painted that out as if we're moving tomorrow.
They did. They sold that. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, kiss my ass. You know what? If you have this land up in Arlington Heights and you do absolutely nothing with it, that is the greatest failure in Chicago Bear mythos of all time. I'm not even playing pretend with that. But anyway, my real point with this, the other point with this is, you're better off staying in downtown city Chicago because you have everything right then and there. We don't live in downtown Chicago. We don't. But yet, we did the drive from Skokie to we did the drive from Skokie to see Sid Luckman's memorial
to Lake Forest.
To Lake Forest to go see training camp, and then we went to go see the Hammond, Indiana.
Wolf Lake terminal site.
All that one day. And the Wolf Lake, it's a lake. It's nothing but water. No one goes to Hammond.
If you saw our show, you saw the background.
No one goes to Hammond. Come on down. What? You have a golf course? A golf course and a bar. Have fun with that.
But you bought a hat, the Hammond Bears.
Well, I did, because it was funny.
Because they think they're going to get the Bears.
But here's my thing with this is, there forever will be the Chicago Bears.
You're right. They asked George They asked George that question.
Yeah, I know.
And George said, no, we will still be the Chicago Bears no matter where we go.
And I know that, because that kind of pisses you off to a point. It would, because you're a 57th Paulina guy. You like to know specifics, a location, the geographics. But whatever. For the people in Chicago, I say Chicago, who are more than happy to go to Arlington Heights and then never complain about the Chicago Bears name and where the hell that they would play. But then if they go to Hammond, which is right next door to Calumet City, now it's a problem. Kiss my ass.
Now, I still say, and you know what? Every day it gets closer to the election, I might be the smartest guy in the room. I might, or I might be the biggest fool there is. I still believe that after the Chicago mayoral election in November, we're almost in September.
Oh, yeah.
You got September and October, and then you got November. You got 8 weeks. The Bears ain't doing dick in 8 weeks. Because first of all,
no business can.
The veto session doesn't go back until November in the state of Illinois. I firmly believe after the mayoral election in the city of Chicago, we're either Mendoza or this guy Quigley from Beverly, Southside Beverly, one of them is going to win the mayoral election. And the very next day, there's going to be blueprints and schematics and drones.
The real problem.
And everything.
That's not even the problem. The problem with the stadium, because, there's only, 32 NFL football teams? And they're all in major cities? And I know Green Bay, Wisconsin is a town of 150,000 people. The whole metro is 200,000 people. You know, they got hotels and shopping center, whatever. If you leave downtown, you Chicago Bears play in downtown city of Chicago. There's hotels everywhere. Roof over your head everywhere. If you go to Hammond, Indiana, there's nothing there. You go to Arlington Heights, yeah, you're going to have some stuff, but not compared to downtown city of Chicago. See, to me, I wouldn't care to me. I really wouldn't care. But
they're dragging this out because still over their head is the buyout out of the Park District. And every year that they play at Soldier Field is one less year that they have to pay for the buyout. If they bleed this out for 3 more years, okay, because there's, 6 years left on the lease? Is it 2033?
That's more than 6 years.
That's 7. Okay, so if they bleed it, I think it's $9 million to get out of the...
And they'd have no stadium playing currently.
So if they keep playing at Soldier Field for the next 4 years,
they have no choice,
and they bail.
They have no choice.
They'll write the check and say, all right, here's $36 million. Here's $36 million. We're out the door. Now they still say that from the construction and the bonds that they still have to pay off. There's another grouping. I haven't looked how deep that is, but the lease and the rent that they pay annually to Soldiers Field, which is in the Park District, is like $9 million. And I'm sure the city of Chicago and the Park District wants that money. They're getting $9 million every year. And I still believe whoever's in charge, I believe there's renderings and blueprints right now in Mendoza and Quigley's office right now. And the minute they are popping champagne bottles at the Drake at the Drake Hotel when they win the mayoral election, they're going to come out with the renderings and go, "This is what's happening." And then you know what? JB Backribs is going to sit back.
The Chicago Bears have a co-owner. This is two factors.
And he's going to approve everything.
The Chicago Bears have a minority owner, a co-owner. Mike North said this. I looked this up. This guy is a billionaire. He's like the ultimate capitalist, just nothing but money. The fact that he can't put down some of the money for a new stadium, okay, that falls on the Chicago Bears. But the other side of it is, the Illinois government, you've given your money away to some people who frankly don't deserve it. But you won't give it to the Chicago Bears? What's wrong? What's wrong with you on that?
We're not going to turn this into a political show, but JB Backribs has, I'm not saying the Bears have been Boy Scouts through this whole ordeal.
No.
They've effed up many a times. But you know what?
Yeah.
Backribs hasn't helped the situation at all. Okay? Because here at the mansion, we think he's got bigger fish to fry. And once he's out of Illinois politics,
because
no one's going to give a rat's ass.
He wants to be the president.
But I think, and I think that's why he'll rubber stamp. And, if Mendoza gets in there, she was in his camp for many years. Okay? And I said it before and I'll say it again. If they can only have one platform. If they sat there and said, you know what, I don't care about taxes.
Okay.
I don't care about gas prices. I really don't care about, I hate to say this, how bad Chicago Public School District scores are on standardized tests. But you know what? I will find a way to keep the Chicago Bears in the city limits. Whoever says that is going to be the mayor of Chicago.
You want to know why? Because you want to know who will vote for him? Every trade union worker. Every union worker will vote for that person.
Yes.
And people don't want to admit that.
And so I still and everybody's going, what's going on? I think this is a great thing. The longer it stays out, because, it's going to happen. And I still believe it's going to happen in one of those sites that it has been, many years ago, the Olympic site that's 73 or whatever the hell it is, or they're going to level the Michael Reese Hospital site, or they may take it up the lakefront where the old Calumet steel mill thing on like 87th and Lakeshore Drive.
If the Chicago Bears just did business with the people of Joliet 6 years ago, this never would have been a problem.
Joliet was an option 6 years ago.
They were the first ones. And you said, no, we don't want to do business with you.
Because people could take the subway, any subway,
and the Metro
to LaSalle Street Station, and LaSalle Street Station takes you right to Joliet. That's how I got to the Sox game. I took Amtrak to Joliet, and I went into Chicago. And you know what? If there's trains going into Chicago, there's trains coming out of Chicago. And all of that was taking place. But if you get an opportunity, you can watch the Bears press conference. I'm not making any of this shit up. It's all there, And for him to say the Bears are in they're in the greatest physical moment in Chicago Bear history.
Okay, so 85 means nothing to them
from a financial standpoint.
Because
financially.
Okay, because I can understand him saying that of today.
Season tickets.
Because I can understand him saying that of now with merchandise and the John Madden video games and whatever, and sporting good memorabilia and whatever. I understand all of that, but for you to say, "Hey, all is good, all is well and well," when in reality you only had one playoff win in 15 years.
And we haven't even talked about the big elephant in the room, and I still say this because we're going to disagree with it. It's going to happen.
I don't know where
the Bears are not going to have a lot of wins, and people are going to be pissing and moaning about when are the Bears going to start winning, and all of a sudden, stadium news
that will kill stadium talk.
It will kill all stadium talk. And then the people who are making those moves, the Kevin Warrens of the world, are going to sit there and go, I'm comfortable. No one gives a shit about the stadium no more. We got to find ways to win games. If the Bears lose their first game against Carolina.
They can't lose to Carolina.
Okay.
And you think they will for whatever purpose.
The spread's only 2 at the moment. If the Bears were this much of a powerhouse, the line should have been 7 or 8 or 9 at this moment. The line is 2.
They're not losing to Carolina.
But then all of a sudden, the talk, this will buy the Bears another year. Period.
No, okay, here, I'll play your game. Bears go 7-10. 7-10, third place team, missed playoffs. There will be no stadium talks. It would be wait. It will be of you went from winning a division title, beating Green Bay, and now you're 7-10. You missed playoffs.
And you know what the next talk will be with that?
I don't know what it would be, but go.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I mean, I think I know what it would be, but continue.
Because who's going into the 4th year of their contract? His contract.
Caleb Williams.
Then it will be, what are we going to do with Caleb Williams in the 4th year? Because
that's far more important than any stadium talk anyway.
So go ahead, I'm sorry. But
anyway, if the Bears are 7-10, and hell, not even that, if they miss playoffs by even one game, no one would care about stadium talk. No one should care about stadium talk because live in reality, people. An NFL arena, 60,000, 70,000 seat stadium. There's no other stadium in the regional area for the Chicago Bears to play in. They don't have one. The Cubs would not allow it to happen. The White Sox would not allow it to happen. Chicago Stadium, where the Blackhawks and Bulls play, if they wouldn't allow them to play there, there's nowhere for them to go. Northwestern doesn't have a building ready. Loyola doesn't have a football team. University of Chicago is a Division III school.
They'd have to go back to U of I and go back and forth.
Would that happen?
I don't know.
The second time around, I don't think it would.
I don't know.
But anyway, if all this happens, and Kevin Warren says, hey, we're perfectly happy. I'm perfectly okay.
We're still taking our time.
Then you're Brian Dable. Brian Dable, coach for the New York Giants. They won't fire me. And then they fired him. Remember that?
And with the 7-10, the talking heads now, and I know they appear to be smarter than us, but they asked the talking heads where the Bears are going to fall in, and the talking heads got the Bears finishing 3rd or 4th in their division. People now are jumping on the Minnesota bandwagon with Kyler Murray.
How?
Because they said,
how?
How? Because they're saying this.
Murray's a bust.
All right. Shh. You asked me how, I'm going to tell you how.
Okay, tell me how. Okay. Tell me how.
Because Minnesota won 13 games with Sam Darnold.
Okay, and he's a Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
He's a Super Bowl champion. Minnesota's not.
Right. But before Sam Darnold became a Super Bowl champion, he spent time in Minnesota. And they won 13 games.
He's a Super Bowl champion. Minnesota's not.
So they're saying that Kyler Murray has more athletic ability than Sam Darnold.
That might be true.
And Sam Darnold's going to be throwing to Addison and Jefferson and their offensive weapons.
That might be true, but Kyler Murray is a tremendous athlete because he could have gone.
He could have played baseball.
He should have played baseball, in my opinion. But as an NFL quarterback, he's a bust.
Right.
As an NFL quarterback, he's a bust. How do I know it? He doesn't watch game tape. How do I know it? He doesn't study and prepare. How do I know it? The Arizona Cardinals leaked that information. But I'm not concerned.
And I was going through some of the stuff they were saying, and I'm like,
I'm not concerned.
And then I broke some things down a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? They might have a point. Of the 4 teams in that division, who has the weakest starting wide receivers?
The entire Chicago Bear offense.
Okay.
Did I stutter?
No. And everybody's saying, now here's my thing. If those guys aren't very good, it is up to the quarterback, and allegedly speaking, and I disagree with this wholeheartedly, that the most important person on the football team is the quarterback. I think that's a bunch of hogwash, okay? But then again, the most important person on the field is the quarterback. He's got to make those guys, he's got to make Luther Burden, as I said before, a Missouri wide receiver, better. Michael Jordan made everybody better.
Okay, but you're comparing comparing basketball to football.
I am. But Michael made those guys better. But Michael won with garbage. And now people are sitting there going, no.
Okay, I don't know how you drag Michael Jordan into a football argument.
Because Michael made them better. Caleb Williams has to make Luther Burden better.
I think he'll play fine.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about Caleb Williams. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. But if he's overthrowing bodies...
Yeah, no. That's on him.
Okay.
If you can't throw to your receiver, that's on you.
Okay. And you got to find ways to win. So I don't know about this.
See, I find it very funny that Bear fans are more concerned about a stadium than they are about can their center actually play competent.
Well, now
I don't relate with Bear fans.
But see, the people who are asking these questions were the media. I don't think anymore. I don't think right now on August 18th that at any time between now and the Super Bowl, the stadium is an issue.
That's a lie.
Personally, I think everybody
I think that's a lie, but okay.
From Bear fans want wins. Do you really think?
Because I've met a lot of Bear fans that are completely delusional. So
Okay, this weekend when they were playing the bad Cleveland Browns, I wasn't in a bar watching them, but I bet there were bars all over the city of Chicago and the surrounding areas, and people were watching and going, geez, I'm watching this guy, I'm watching this guy, I'm watching this new defensive back. I believe last on the discussion poll was, what the hell's happening with the Bears in their stadium?
It's funny you say that, because that preseason game, the Bears showed footage of the Wolf Lake property. They showed footage. I'm not making this up. Hey, it's a swamp.
It is.
It's a swamp. Hammond, Indiana is not a destination. It's not. But here's the big problem. You want to build a domed, you want to build a roof indoor NFL football stadium. All well and good. There's no train stations. There's no shuttles. If you can't drive, there's not an airport in Hammond, Indiana. There's not. And you made the comment when we were driving back from Skokie to Hammond, because here's the reality. It's Lake Michigan. You're backed up there. It's a Great Lakes region. It's more Great Lakes than it is Midwest. What people don't realize is it's tough driving and navigating because of the body of water that is Lake Michigan. You can't cross the street.
Do you think they'll have a lake, like a river taxi, lake taxi?
I would hope.
Some vessel.
I would hope
that will take you from Oak Street Beach.
I would hope.
All the way across Lake Michigan and drop you off outside that the Lost Marsh. Have a dock there.
And you get out like it's like the opening of The Creature of Black Lagoon, or it's like King Kong or something.
And then you can have like gambling boats, and they can take you back and forth. These are great ideas.
That actually is, yeah. They actually are, but
then it could be the Titanic,
sink or crack.
Did you see? Speaking of,
there's no icebergs.
Real quick. Did you see? I since we're talking about this, and this is not the reason I said it, and we're going to get the hell out of here real quick. An amusement park in England, in Great Britain, has a ride.
Oh no!
And it's called the Titanic.
What?
And kids get on there, and you're tipping back, and explosions go off.
Is it like a boat?
It's shaped as a theme. Yeah, Google.
Does it look like the actual?
I don't know, but the idea is you get tossed and turned and thrown, and it's.
I would not want to be on a ride that's named the Titanic.
But then some people said, well, it's been 100 years now, and it's been passed, and the novelty of the Titanic is no longer. So no one should make a big deal of this. I'm sure you're going to Google this when we're done.
I will.
You will.
I will.
But because what I was trying to get at, let's say for sake of argument, you're a Chicago Bears season ticket holder. So for going back to what Kevin Warren said, Chicagoland area, there's 10 million people who live in it?
Greater 8 or 9 million.
Okay. For sake of argument, let's round up to 10 million to make it easy. You're living in Schaumburg or something, or Des Plaines, or one of the northern Waukegan or whatever, and you got to drive from your home to Hammond, Indiana.
Lake County to Hammond, Indiana.
It's a pain. It's a long, miserable, pathetic drive. And traffic on the Dan Ryan, traffic on Lake Michigan,
the tollway.
Yeah, the tollways, the skyways. Traffic is bad anywhere in America. No
infrastructure will have to be just.
But
yeah, you got to drive it. There's no.
My problem with it, because I've got arguments with you about it.
The South Shore line will take you there, but there's only one stop on, beginning at the South Shore line. I think that's at the old.
There's a lot of people who talk about the state of Illinois, and they don't know shit, really. A lot of people who talk about Chicago, they don't know anything, really. But Hammond, Indiana, and I got arguments with you about it, but Hammond, in all fairness, is just a suburb of the city of Chicago. That's all that. It's only 14 miles from Soldier Field. That's all that it is. It's right there.
So you're still in the area, so it's not much of a big deal. But from where you are in downtown city of Chicago to that location in Hammond, that's not an upgrade. And
the geographical area, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not. But you got to take into consideration, hey, you want to have 60,000 people at a tailgate in a parking lot. Well, where are they all going to go after?
That's why it's never going to happen.
That's my point.
Okay, it's not going to happen.
Thank you.
Okay. So don't get worked up over it. It's not going to happen. The Hammond thing,
but I get worked up about it because people want to talk about it, but they don't want to talk about it truthfully. They don't want to report on it genuinely.
But see, first of all, the Bears haven't bought any land in Hammond.
It's not what they're saying.
No, they're saying because the Northwest Commission is having the bonds. They're letting the Bears build on there with that 30. We had an episode about this. The Bears don't have to buy that land.
And it's a better episode. Probably the best episode we've ever done, really.
The Bears don't have to buy that land. The Bears, because, see, Illinois is not giving any bonds and any relief and any infrastructure tax-based shit in Arlington Heights. Indiana is. So the Bears will own everything in 30 years. Up until now, they're saying
easier said than done.
So again, if the Bears here, that's why it's a bluff. If the Bears are given all of this land and everything, if the Lost Marsh thing has been approved from an environmental standpoint, and everything is a go, and there are no glitches, then the question is why? And it's free land at the moment. The Bears got to pay the bonds later. Why in the hell haven't the Bears broke ground? The answer is because they don't want to.
Okay, well.
And they're waiting for after the election in Chicago to get the answers to be in Chicago.
I think you might be right.
And if they don't get the answers in Chicago, then they're going to sit there and go, all right, Hammond, we've dicked around long enough. Bring in the bulldozers. That's what's going to take place.
Well, anyway.
We got to post this. The Cubs play in 2.5 hours. Gosman is pitching. I don't know who's pitching against the Sox.
Sox are looking good. I mean, I've been giving them a lot of grief, but...
All right, but...
I wonder what...
Guys that look this up, send it to other people, okay? We want a little more traction. We had some great traction last time.
Yeah, because we know people watch this.
And I appreciate... the guys who that I sent the stuff out to, and they're looking at it. Maybe you're waiting for the new one. I know a couple people asked me recently when you're going to post the next one, so we're going to post this today.
So did you win in your Old Man Baseball?
We had it was workouts. Well, it was workouts.
That's what it was called?
No, because
I'm not sorry. I'm not laughing because it's...
They want to see who was there, and now they went behind closed doors after practice and made the teams. So I'll know my team tomorrow. And then next week we play our first fall league game. This was the workout to
it's
get back.
It's bizarre that you can play, but Dansby Swanson can't. But anyway, I'm sorry. I had to throw that
there
one
were
in
no there. Oblique injuries.
I really had to throw that one
in the Old Man League.
What the hell's an oblique? You were a health teacher. No one knows.
No one knows. It's some kind of like cartilage between your rib cage that goes around your side. No.
Anyway,
I'm gonna look that up after we get done.
I'm gonna look up the Titanic.
I know, and the oblique. But we're gonna post this, and it should get going. And we thank you.
Hey, Chicago sports. Thank you, everybody.
Till next time, watch the sports.
Bye bye.